So,
This wasn't recording. It's recording now.
Fuck, what was I saying?
No, it's cool. We're gonna continue because I'm gonna
Let me
take it off of there and they could hear it from the mic on the camera.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna sound bad.
So it's like, this is my 7th take of this, you know what I mean? So it's like...
It goes straight to the Mata, then I'm up in the chopper, hitting the cha-cha, open his kata, then he dancing my shit. Whooped it, bitch, I'm outside of some movie. Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like blue sleep. Bitch, I'm by my chicken like it's a 2-piece. You can have your bitch back, she a groupie. She just swallow all my kids in a 2-seat. Swagged out, from the Louis bringing them gas out. I still got some racks stuffed in the trap house. Off the 42, I'm blowing her back out. I'm back on my bullshit, spin back with a full clip. They say I'm moving ruthless, and my shooters they shooting. I was sick of they roof, Chris.
2, 1, and we're on. Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of Barber's Corner. Today, our guest is Matti Hanson.
What's up, guys?
Hanson. Sounds like you live in Texas, bro.
That was good, eh? That was good.
How you been, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good.
It's good to see you.
What did you do today?
Man, today, no work.
It's
so
good
it
seeing
was,
you too.
Yeah.
I should have said
you
that.
literally were thinking about it. I could see in your eyes, you're like, should I reply to that?
No, I was like, once you ask me, I'm like,
yeah. You're just going to skip it. Yeah.
Should I just ignore it? Or should I just bring it up?
No, it's good. But yeah, no work today. You know, I did taxes. That was a big part of my day.
Oh,
just looking forward to taxes. I've been looking forward to that for a while, you know? So, got those done. And, you know, other than that, just kind of chilling, man. Came here. That's about it.
So you did your taxes?
Did my taxes, man.
That's a big thing when you're an adult.
That's an adult thing, I feel. You know what I mean?
I think it's a very, scary. It could be very scary.
It is, man. For
sure.
A
lot of people I know, when they say I'm doing my taxes, I need to get it done, they get worried.
Oh yeah.
You could hear the jittering and the shake in their voice.
Bro, I promise you, not a single person knows what they're doing with taxes.
Even the accountant?
I feel like the accountant does, bro. But you know what I mean? I feel like a regular person, they look at the tax form, they're like, what is this? But it's the easiest thing to read. It's like one box, one number, you're done. But everybody freaks out.
Do you understand it?
I have no idea what it's talking about.
I
obviously.
have absolutely no clue how I get money back every year how I pay money every year.
It doesn't make sense.
Nothing makes sense about taxes.
Does not make sense, man. I feel like when accountants do it, they just plug in a bunch of numbers and they're like, this is what you get. And you're like, sounds good, man. Like, what are you going to say to him? Like, no? You know what I mean?
I finished my taxes too. Thank God that's out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Once that's accomplished, it's like, okay, you're good for the year.
Yeah. Well, the rest of my day, I felt like so good. I went to get breakfast right after. I was like celebrating doing my taxes.
Where did you go to get breakfast?
I went for IHOP, man.
Well, you go to a lot of breakfast.
I love brunch. It's weird. Literally, I'll be driving home. I'm like, I forgot about brunch today. I just go crush pancakes. You know, I'm crazy for brunch.
What's your favorite brunch place?
You know what?
What would you recommend to that?
I would say like high key, like an obvious place is IHOP. That's my go-to.
I love
a really low key spot, man. It's called New York Bagel. It's just off of a White Ave.
Shout out to New York Bagel.
Shout out to New York Bagel, man. Crazy.
What's
crazy?
Her name? The waitress.
I have no idea, man. No idea. Barely speaks English, bro. Barely speaks English, bro. But yo, they're good. It's good stuff, man.
That's cool. Do they have bagels from New York or what?
Obviously not from New York, but they're crazy, man. They have I get the eggs Benny, so they obviously have their eggs Benny. They have their turkey stuff, and then you to pick one of 10 bagels or something. So.
Just like every other, except they have bagels.
Yeah.
I think IHOP doesn't have bagels, right?
They don't. They just have regular
toast
muffins or whatever, egg muffins. That's what I call them, egg muffins. Yeah. Can I get an egg muffin? They're like, what are you talking about?
I love Cora's, bro. Wait, Cora. Yeah,
Cora's. Yeah.
I love their chicken sandwich.
I feel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I feel like IHOP kind of took them over, man. As soon as IHOP came to Canada, man, Cora's just came down.
But they're dope. They're very good.
Oh yeah.
And they're local, they're in Clairview, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty cool. Well, moving on, bud. Let's talk about the Atlanta. Did you hear about the Atlanta shooting?
I didn't. What happened?
Heard about the Atlanta shooting?
No.
It was yesterday, I think.
Explain to me what happened. I've heard so many stories, man.
This video's gonna get uploaded a little bit later on.
Yeah.
So I think you're 2-3 guys behind. So this is gonna be really old news.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do, bro? I think I'm gonna put up 2 videos a week because this is getting too much.
You should.
Like
What do you have to
like
lose?
you're gonna be uploaded in like April 7 or something. That's
You have like a
long
nice
time.
schedule, hey?
Yeah.
You have like an X marks the date on your calendar. Like it has to be this day, this time.
That ugly ass schedule
Yeah,
over there.
like don't mess it up.
Yeah, bro. The Atlanta shooting, it happened yesterday. What day is it today?
25th, 24th.
So it happened on the 23rd or the 24th? Because you said 25th first, and we're not sure what day it is.
I'm not sure what day it is. It's a good question, man.
24th.
24. Okay.
So it happened on the 23rd, I think, or the 22nd, one of those. And this guy, he walked into a convenience store in Atlanta, and he killed 10 people. Like, he just shot him.
Was that the racial one?
No, they don't know the motive yet.
Really? Was that because like there was that huge thing in the news of that white guy that just shot a bunch of like Asians and Indians?
Oh, that was at he went to a massage parlor.
Yeah.
And he killed 6 Asians and 2 others.
So this was a completely different shooting.
Bro, this is a different one.
No way,
In
man.
the States right now, there's been 7 mass shootings. I mean, sorry, what the hell am I saying? In the last 7 days,
Yeah.
there's been 7 mass shootings, I think. 7 or 8. One
Dude,
of those.
I can't even.
In the last 7 days.
That's crazy, man. You think about like, for example, like Canada. You get maybe one every like what 10 years. Like you never hear about that stuff, you know?
Bro, the last 7 days you have 7 to 8 mass shootings. I actually wish I knew. I was reading about it today, but imagine coronavirus is the main thing you're worried about.
I know, but you can't even go to a massage parlor or to a convenience store and you just get shot. You're going to pick up milk. You're going to pick up, you know?
Some guy was like, I was going to pick up soda.
Yeah.
And he's like, some guy just shooting, and a cop was killed.
That's
because the cop that
crazy.
showed up first, he's the one that
Right.
died, I think.
Yeah.
And then they haven't really released. And then after that, it took them like a whole day and a half or something to release the guy's name because he was white.
Yeah.
They never released why he did it. They
Yeah.
never released anything else about him.
Bro,
if this was a Middle Eastern or a black or Latino,
yeah.
they would have talked about what he did in grade 4,
Oh, yeah.
what he did in grade 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. In the first 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh, easily, bro. His name would have been everywhere. They'd been like,
But
this
it's
guy,
crazy,
this
like-
guy, you know?
So many
Yeah.
mass shootings.
Yeah, I actually cannot believe that, man. And that's like, just like you said, it's like, if it's a white guy, they're like, oh, it's whatever, it's a regular day. But if it's a, you know, a colored person, it's the end of the world, it's a terrorist, it's the worst person in the world, their family's terrorist, it's like their cousin that lives in a different country is a terrorist. It's like,
Yeah,
what are you talking about? The white guy's like, his family's fine, they raised him good. They're like, what are you talking about? You just killed 10 people.
Bro,
Obviously, there's something wrong with the man.
the cop that was talking about the massage parlor shooting,
Yeah.
bro, the cop was like, and I said this in my last podcast because I was talking about it, but he's like, yeah, he was just having a bad day.
There's
That's
what?
all he said.
What
And
in the
people were
world
like,
do you just wake up and have a bad day? You're like, I'm gonna go kill every person I see today.
How do you get a cop to say that?
I know.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy, man. It's probably his uncle or something, man.
It's his dad's brother.
Imagine. That's my little cousin Jimmy. Don't worry about him. He's a good guy. He just had a bad day.
Have you been to like Miami? Have you been to like anywhere in the States?
I've been actually a lot of places in the States. My number one spot would definitely be Seattle. I'm a huge
Seattle.
Seahawks fan, so I just love the vibe there. You know, it's like the rainy. It's got the ocean. It's a nice city, man, for sure. Seattle. A lot of places in Cali, LA, Anaheim, stuff like that. Been to Florida a couple times too. I wouldn't say much else though. Probably just those.
In Seattle, you said is it like Vancouver?
Like exact
Vancouver here
same.
for us?
Exact same. It's nuts.
That's my
like,
favorite.
Yeah, it's honestly I love it, man.
Like today.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. You
Just
can
one
walk
of
out.
those days you want to just stay
Yeah.
outside.
You can tell it's so much better when you're in the ocean too, because like it's gloomy and like a little bit of a breeze, but not like cold or windy. You know what I mean? It's a perfect mix.
That's sick.
Yeah.
In Miami, did you hear about what happened there?
What happened there?
They're imposing a 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. So now you can't leave there because so many people went into the. Well, I'm talking about the beach. So Miami
Yeah.
Beach. So many people were there. There's a huge riot. People
Really?
thousands of people went there for like vacation.
That was the spring break issue, wasn't
Spring
it?
break,
Yeah. Dude, literally, the funniest thing was, Because I watched the news, like the local news, and they were like, "Hey, spring." This was like a month or two ago. Like spring break is coming up, and like the news reporter like, low key was like, "Just watch America. It's gonna burst." Like he low key kind of said that, and you could tell. So obviously, these beaches just light up with people, right? Of course, man. Miami didn't take it serious for the longest time. I actually believe that would be a thing, but not a single person's gonna follow that curfew. I guarantee you.
I don't think so.
No,
Miami's another level of parties and another level of. I mean, they're known for that, right?
Yeah,
especially with their beautiful weather and stuff.
Yeah, that's I don't know, how would a person just be able to stay home all night, every night? You know what I mean? It's like you go to work, you come home, you're in jail.
Yeah, especially like.
You know what I mean?
During that type of weather season.
Yeah.
I guess like their spring is like much nicer than ours.
Yeah. Imagine you don't have like a deck or something. You can't even go like sit outside.
Ooh, buddy.
You open your window, you stick your head out, like cops just like go back in. It's like, oh, okay, man, sorry.
In Miami, during that, there was two guys who so I was listening to a podcast today. Two guys took a girl and they put a green pill, they said, in her drink. And then they took her into a room, they raped her, and they said they thought that pill was what's that one pill that everybody takes? I can't remember what it's called, but they said that's what they thought it was, and they just gave it to her, and then she ended up getting raped. She was taking like what's it called when somebody takes control over or taken advantage of. Yeah. She was taken advantage of. Yeah. And then after that, they ended up taking her phone and her wallet, and they left. And they used her card at a lot of like different places. Yeah. Then the cops showed up and seen that the body was like she was dead. They killed her with that pill. Like the
OD'd kind of thing.
Yeah. But like they didn't know what the pill was. They're like, we just bought it. We thought it was that. We just gave it to. We put it in her drink, and now they're like. Two guys who could be on for a murder. Yeah. And they're getting charged with like a bunch of different stuff.
Dude, that's nuts.
That's a spring.
Imagine it goes from like you think it's just like a regular party drug, it's whatever. Now you're gonna get hit with murder. You know, you're stealing, rape charges. Like
bro,
you're getting everything.
24 years old she was.
That's crazy, man. Dude, that's the thing why it's like so scary in America for those parties. You know, everybody's like drinking, you know, having a good time, but what if something like that happens, you know?
That's so sad.
You can't even control yourself, man. It's like, you know?
A 24-year-old lost her life.
Yeah.
Because some guys were trying to
have a good time.
That's insane.
I don't know how you call that.
Crazy.
You can't even call that a good time, man. That's weird, dude.
That was so depressing the way I was saying it.
Yeah.
I was almost gonna cry.
Yeah. You're like,
let's jump into local news now.
Let's do it.
There was a huge fire in Clever. Did you see that?
I seen that this morning, man.
I bet you were going to look at those houses.
I was. I text my realtor, hey, he set this showing up. And then he's like, oh, dude, that one's gone. I'm like, what do you mean gone? He's like, it's like gone to the ground.
That's insane.
Yeah, man. I seen that. Dude, do you know what?
Did you hear what happened?
I was just going to say, the report said it was a cigarette left in the garage. That's what the report I saw said.
That's why you smoke shisha.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, dude, if I was a shisha, you're good. Leave it in there. You're good. It was a cigarette. Apparently, the guy was smoking in his garage. So obviously, he didn't want his wife to know, right? So he's smoking in the garage. Probably put it in an ashtray. I don't know how that would start a fire, bro.
His wife probably found out in the worst way now.
Oh, yeah. The news report, your husband was smoking in the garage. You know, he lost his house. His wife's going to beat him up, man. It's like, oh, you know.
So let's say, imagine he was, because like you're not sure if he was hiding the smoke.
You don't know, right?
Imagine he was hiding it for like years and years.
Yeah.
And then you get caught by burning the entire house down.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, they damaged two houses next door.
Yeah. It was a big one, man. Like how from a little cigarette, the whole community's done. It's like, oh,
wow. If he can do that to 3 houses, imagine what he could do to his lungs with that.
Oh yeah, man. Imagine he's doing such a good job.
That's a commercial.
Yeah, that's like such a good commercial. Look what cigarettes do to you. Every house is burnt to the ground.
This to one of the government.
Yeah. They're gonna put this in a pack of cigarettes. Do not smoke. Yeah. That's funny.
There was also in Fort McMurray, they found I don't know much about this one actually, but they found a body in Fort McMurray's forest.
What was it connected to?
Buffalo. The RCMP found it. They didn't say.
They don't
Or
know if
maybe
it's
they did say.
maybe.
But I'd have to research it. And honestly,
Yeah.
like, I went for a run today. I'm very lazy to research.
Yeah, no worries.
It was that's messed up, bro. You get a lot of that now.
I feel like, do you know what I always think of, man? Like when you watch like shows and movies, it's like, especially Edmonton, because they're expanding out so much towards like Yellowhead, the Henday.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they gotta like dig up this stuff now.
Yeah,
You gotta
imagine
think
how
about
much
like
they're
people
gonna
that like committed murders like 20, 30 years ago, thinking this land was never gonna be built on.
Wow.
Imagine there's like all these bodies just there, and they're gonna get like convicted of like murder and stuff, like DNA's on it.
Imagine how it is in third world countries.
Oh,
now.
it's probably crazy, man.
Canada's like that.
You know what I mean? Dude, if you actually like think about that, like it's
Yeah.
weird to think about, but it's probably so true.
It's so scary at
Yeah.
a time. Cause
Yeah.
like my mom and them go for walks and like
Yeah.
imagine like especially the new area in Fraser, like Fraser Vista, that was all like dirt.
Yeah.
And like now there's like a bunch of houses being built.
Everywhere.
It's becoming a neighborhood
Yeah.
community. And so many places too, like 167 have all that communities being
Yeah.
built and like it's insane.
Imagine literally just going for a walk with your dog and like your mom or something. You just see a dead body there.
Wow.
Just like bones. Just it's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It's like, what did I get myself into? I just bought a house here.
Yeah, man. That's,
You know?
That's messed up. That's
Yeah.
what the realtor doesn't show you.
Yeah, that's what the realtor
That's
doesn't
what
show
the renter
you.
doesn't show you.
Yeah. So guys,
So-
it's good.
Let's jump right into it, man.
Let's do it.
After 17 minutes, let's jump right into it.
Yeah. It's like that was just a quick intro.
Tell us what you do. What would you? How would you sum it up?
Sum it up, I would say I don't know. What would you say? Young
I would
investor.
say, yes.
Young investor.
A good young investor.
Good young investor. That's how I'd say it. You know?
You
Trying
know,
my
it's-
best.
It's a very cool thing that you're young and you're investing. Because
Yeah.
A lot of people, they're investing in making their health very bad. Some are investing in like cars. Some are investing in like a lot of different things. But you decided to invest in something very important. And like
Yeah.
even old people don't like old people. Even like
Yeah.
older people, they don't recognize how important property is to invest in.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's like just like you said, it's you can invest in so many different things. Obviously, your health is a big one. You can invest in cars, in a business, you know, and whatever you want. And my choice was obviously real estate and houses. So it came down to the fact, like, I've had so many conversations with people. It's like, how did you get into this? It's like, honestly, man, I have no idea. I cannot, like, I don't have anybody in my family that does it. You know, I have like an uncle in Vancouver who builds houses. He doesn't rent them out or anything. You know what I mean? So it was like, what made you do this? And I was like, that's a good question. I have no idea. And it came down to, you know, what's like your hobby? You know, I like to look at houses.
He's asking all my questions.
You know, it's like
I'm gonna ask you.
it's like you're trying to come
You're
up with
just
new
asking
questions right
yourself.
now. I'm asking myself
I'm like,
the
what's your
question.
hobby? He's like, what's my hobby? I'm like, okay.
It's like, do you want to just step outside and ask myself the question? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's like, what is your hobby? It's like, man, I just love looking at houses. Honestly, I love looking at houses. It's weird. I'll scroll through them like at least an hour a day, just looking at stuff. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Man.
and that's what got me into it. And it was like, you know, I'm like obviously a risk taker, so I was never scared to pull the trigger on something I liked, right? So again, it was probably in June. It hasn't even been a year, dude, and I bought like multiple properties. It's weird. It honestly feels like it's been like 5 years. I guess that's COVID time, but like, you know what I mean? It's been so quick. So yeah, to sum it up, young investor, trying my best. It's something I like, but at the same time, I've really had no one to like lean on, ask about, because no one else has really, you know, invested in it with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you think about it quick, who else do you really know that does that? You know, so it's been tough, but it's been like crazy fun.
That's actually it's funny that you said that you like looking at houses, like you like doing research on. Bro, when I was looking for a house, I was like ready to pull the trigger on myself.
Yeah,
Like you're
dude,
ready to pull the
it
trigger.
is
by it, but
stressful. It is.
I don't know how
it's
you like
stressful.
doing that.
I don't know.
That's
I
why
love
you
it.
hire like a realtor to do that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
even then, it's like they give you these weird looking houses, and
Yeah.
you're like, really? You
That's
think
the
I'm gonna-
issue,
that's what
man.
I
It's
want?
like the realtor's gonna send you what's available on the market, but at the end of the day, you know, as an investor, you gotta have a specific list. You know what I mean? So you gotta narrow it down to 2-3 things that you'll never budge away from. That's kind of something I learned, right? Obviously, you know, if you're buying something as a rental property, number one, real estate always appreciates. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Real estate will never, unless your like house is, I don't know, they build a whatever next door and it just depreciates the value, whatever they may do. But cars always are going to depreciate. You know, everything you have is going to depreciate, but a house always appreciates. So over time, while you're having that house, number one, you have your tenants, your renters paying. Number two, the equity in the house is always rising. So when you go to sell it or when you go to pull out equity to buy a new house, boom, you have money right there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it makes so much sense. And then even on the way over here, I was thinking, I was like, holy, like, you know, I have like four rental properties on the go right now. And it's like I said, it's been, thanks, man. And it's been under a year, you know what I mean? But like, it's all about passive income. You know what I mean? It's like, what do the millionaires say? You have to have 7 or 8 streams of income to get to that point.
That.
Because
one stream of income,
that's the issue, man. It's like over COVID, it's like, dude, I've seen multiple of my friends or people that I know, you know, they get laid off. They have to go on COVID leave because one of their colleagues got COVID or something. It's like, what else are you going to do? You have CRB. It's going to give you, it gives you what, $500 a week or whatever. It's like, that's okay, but that's not going to sustain over a long period of time. You only get 3 months of it maximum, whatever it is, right? What if you get fired at your job because they go out of business because they can't pay their bills? You know what I mean? So, you know, you're literally one day away. Scary. You know, one day away. What if you get fired? What if you get laid off? You have nothing. You know what I mean? I think that's what really triggered me getting to that point. It's like, I want to just have so many houses, so much income that I don't have to worry if I want to retire early, if I want to quit, if I get fired, if I get laid off, because you never know what's going to happen in the market. You never know. You know, especially with COVID, it kind of sped everything up. Yeah. People are starting to realize now, like, look at how many people are starting, like, small businesses, side hustles, because they're like, holy, man, like, if I get fired or, like, the economy goes bad, I got nothing. You know what I mean?
Because they realized that when COVID came and they actually did lose their job, they had nothing.
Dude, it's like, they're sitting at home, they're like, I should probably do something. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you should probably do something. You know what I mean? So.
And I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm a victim of that because when that did happen, even my wife, like, she wasn't working. I wasn't really going to work because
I guess the shop stopped the barbershops, right? So
yeah, so like, what are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
And then you start putting your mind to work, and you're like, maybe we could start a candy company.
Yeah.
That's when Candy Corner got, you know, it got brought out, and then
there you go.
The podcasting was, I was just thinking about that for so long, and I guess I finally took that step of
man. You're like, I have a little bit of time. I've had this idea. Like, why not do it? Take that risk. Do you know what I mean?
You get so much time, and you're like, this is the time you do something that you love to do because now you're given that freedom of, okay, your work is closed. Yeah. What are you going to do in your free time? Put it into something that you love to do, you know?
Exactly. And that's the issue. I feel like so many people have, you know, passed that on for so long. They're like, oh, I have no time. You know, you're working all day. You come home, you know, in the evening, you eat. You just want to relax. You don't want to have your mind on doing this and this and this, you know, doing that side hustle thing. But at the end of the day, those hours, that time is what's going to put you financially free.
Of course.
Eventually, you know? 100%. Stocks, you know, everybody's like, oh, invest in stocks. It only does so much, man. You know how hard it is to get big on stocks? You have to hit the perfect time on the perfect company.
Man, I'm gonna bring in so many guys for stocks.
I will. I don't. That's the hardest thing. If you're good at stocks, I wanna talk to you. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I'm bringing, man.
Yeah. So you know, you have stocks, you have businesses. Real estate's obviously been the big one for me, right? It's like, at the end of the day, obviously a lot of things can go wrong. You know, you have a bad tenant, you can't get someone in the house, anything can happen, right?
Is that scary? Does that ever cross your mind?
All the time. But at the, you know, you figure things out, you keep going. You have that's why you have to have, like I said, you have to have like a narrow list. So my list would obviously be, you have to buy a house in a good location. Because at the end of the day, everybody needs a place to live.
Of course.
Everybody. Yeah. And I can guarantee you right now, based on statistics, probably 60% of Canadians cannot get approved for a mortgage. Because they have a bad credit, they have too much debt, they can't afford it.
What about those real estate places that say bad credit? We got you covered.
Dude, those are the biggest scams. I feel like those are true, but those are the biggest scams.
I feel like they're not true. I feel like people just say, you got bad credit, you can't afford to buy a car, well, we got you covered on the house.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to give a house to somebody that has no credit?
It's like they can't pay their credit card debt, but you're going to give them a house.
Exactly,
it's like, oh, okay, sure. It doesn't make sense,
I get so confused on that.
Yeah, man. It's kind of nuts. But you know what I mean? So, obviously, location's a huge one. Second one would be price. You know, the numbers add up. You know, the biggest thing is return on your investment. Are you going to be making money monthly? And by the time you want to sell that house, you know what I mean? So those are obviously the two big factors that I look into. And at the end of the day, you have 4 on the go. Passive income, you want to be looking at like, I don't know, 25%, 30%. That's high, but that's what I push for. If you crunch down the numbers right, you're going to get that.
And is that for 25 to 30% for all 4 houses together?
Yeah, so I would say,
I
I would say on average, to kind of make the numbers even, it's probably about $500 per person per house. So 4 houses with a 2K.
Unreal, man.
Yeah.
That's just passive income.
The passive income.
That's you not working.
Just goes straight into my account.
That's
it's
so
like,
cool, bro.
You know what I mean? So
especially like at this age.
Yeah, and think about what, like, what is that, 24K?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, that's not a huge number. We add that on to like my current salary. You add that on to like stocks, little things that I'm doing. It's like, whoa, that pays for like car insurance, that pays for your mortgage of your actual house, that pays for literally all my bills plus some. You know what I mean? It's like,
so cool.
Yeah.
And like, and that's you. Like, imagine somebody who doesn't have any bills and they just have to pay their phone bill.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about like a guy who's not really buying that many houses or can't afford to buy that many houses. A guy who just has passive income through a small thing. He makes like $100 through passive income a month, but it's covering his phone bill. So do you know how happy he is?
Dude, he has no bills.
Yeah. So like his bills are covered.
He's got nothing to worry about.
So he's just as smart as somebody who. What I'm saying is, like, he's just as smart as somebody who has 20 houses. Yeah. And those 20 houses are paying for a truck, a house, like his house bill, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. As soon as you start getting 20 houses, you start living in those means.
Yes.
You become a millionaire, you live as a millionaire. That's the issue with a lot of people.
Your goal is, or what?
At the end of the day,
I want to ask what your goal is.
That's the thing, man. It's like I've always lived within my means. You know what I mean? It's like I'm never going to go buy a $1 million house because I can. It's like, why? What's the point? I don't need that, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, why am I going to go buy a Lamborghini? It's like, I bet a lot of people can, but why? What do you need that for? You know what I mean?
And you know what the problem is? A lot of individuals who let's say they get a job in Fort McMurray, they make $3,000 every 2 weeks. Yeah. They start living like they make $6,000 every 2 weeks.
And they're going to do that forever.
And then let's say they lose that job. Yeah. And then they start getting paid. They start working somewhere else, somewhere in the city, and they start getting paid $1,500 every 2 weeks. Yeah. They start living like they get $3,000. Yeah. Like it's
always live above their means.
People that live above them. I've never understood that.
Dude, I don't understand it either.
Just live in between and you'll be good.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And it's like if you have different streams of income, you can support that. But like, dude, would you rather have a house making you money or invest in a car that you have to pay money for? You know what I mean? It's like.
That's bad.
You know what I mean?
It's like this one thing I heard. It was like, he said, why would you buy a Tesla when you can invest in Tesla and literally own in like 3 years, like
own the shares that'll pay you out to buy a Tesla. Yeah.
Yeah, you know?
That's literally, if you think about it, it adds up. You know, obviously Tesla's stock's crazy right now. Like, not an average person can afford that. But, you know what I mean? If, for example, you bought it 10, 20 years ago when it was super low, and you invested X amount of money, that now would have transitioned to probably like 30, 40 Teslas.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't invest in a Tesla, invest like in the company Tesla. It's like, dude,
people mess up. People don't think about that. Do you have any investments in that?
I do, yeah. And it was like...
In the stocks?
In the stocks, yeah. I don't know. Like, that's the thing I was thinking. It's like, would you want to buy stocks or would you want to buy the vehicle, right? Like we were kind of discussing. And it's like... Not many people at our age or even anybody throughout life thinks about, maybe I should actually invest in the company. Yeah. And then, you know, I'm going to get paid off of that company to buy products from that company. Do you know what I mean? Nobody thinks like that, man. Everybody thinks straight-minded. I'm not trying to bash anybody. Yeah, but it's because, like, nobody's been open to different things. You know what I mean? It's like, same for me, man. Nobody gave me that, like, opening to be like, hey, like, maybe you should invest in real estate. Maybe you should do this. It was kind of me going off on my own, venturing on my own and kind of making those decisions by myself, figuring it out on my own, doing my own research. Do you know what I mean?
So how did you come about the fact that you were like one day where you're like, oh, I have some extra money. I would love to get this and that, this and that, this and that, but let me just think about my future for a minute here.
Yeah, and that's
then you kind
that's
of
the
put
thing.
it
It's
into
so
something.
hard. It's so hard to pinpoint. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to have that extra money and start living above my means. You know what I mean? I don't
Bro,
want
do
to
you hear
have.
my stomach?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't want to have that extra money and be able to live above my means. Because if you look at your bank account, you're like, whoa, 100K. I'm gonna go spend 100K today, or versus, oh, I only have $1,000 in my bank account today. I'm not gonna go do anything. You know what I mean? But that 100K bought you 3 houses.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of people don't think about that at all.
No, because that 100K is gonna run out if you don't use it on something.
Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna keep spending it every day. Oh, perfect, got 100K. I'm gonna go buy a truck. I'm gonna go buy a vacation. You know?
Man, I'm bad at that.
You know what I mean? I am too.
That's
I'm not gonna
literally
lie.
me,
I
man.
do that a lot too.
If I had 100K right now,
It'd be gone. Yeah, most people are like that.
in like a week, if you came back on the
Yeah.
podcast, I'd be like, yo, I have like $45.
Yeah, it's like if I actually owe $45 right now to this one company. It's like, dude, can you help me out? Or you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
dude, I don't
man.
know what happened. I can't even pinpoint it. It's like, man, like I got X amount of money extra. I want to start doing something with it. So, you know, when I'm 50, I can be like, I want to sell everything right now, and I'm done. I'm retired. That was my goal, dude. It's like 50, like before 55, let's say.
Yes.
I want to be able to sell all these houses. They're all paid off completely. This is all money in my pocket.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So that was like my end goal when I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, man, I don't want to retire when I'm 70. It's like, what are you going to enjoy? 50? You're still like, it's old, but not old. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I
still a
know what
good
you're saying.
age to go do anything you want.
Bro, I never even thought about the fact that the houses are going to be paid off at a
Yeah.
certain time.
Yeah.
And then you could just sell the whole house and,
Yeah,
you know?
all
I
cash
never
in your
thought about any of
pocket.
that.
So you think about it, bro. It's you buy the house, they're paying for your mortgage, you're making money off of them through passive income. Then you sell the house, and you get all that money invested over those years back into your pocket.
And the thing, I think the reason why a lot of like guys that are young, or even like older guys, they don't do that is because they don't know.
No, they don't, man. They
So
don't.
like, okay, like the houses are one thing you invest in.
Mm-hmm.
You can invest in several things, obviously, but stocks being one of them.
Yeah,
I personally, like, I'm very interested in knowing about stocks.
yeah.
But I just don't know about it.
That's
in order
yeah,
for me to put some money into it
yeah,
and do it. And like, yeah, you can like download the app, see Bitcoin, see it's at $60,000. You could be like, cool, let me take 0.0000076% of this, you know,
yeah, yeah.
and then put in 500.
And dude, that's the thing. It's like people come up to me. It's like, yeah, like what else do you do for investments? It's like, man, I do a lot of stocks. Yeah. They're like, would you do Bitcoin? I'm like, Bitcoin's the different one. I personally believe Bitcoin will keep going up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But
That's what I think.
something like Tesla, Apple, Walmart, even like huge companies, well-known companies, they've kind of like hit their pinnacle of being a stock. You know what I
Think
mean? 5, 10, 15 years ago, those were the greatest investments ever in the world because they were
But, like,
so
you
low.
don't think they're gonna double?
They
obviously.
double, no. That's the issue. It's like people now, they're like, oh my God, look at 5 years, Tesla's gone up $800. I want to buy it. It's
And
like,
you're
why?
like,
It's only
where's it
going to
gonna
go up
go?
$1 or $2 over the next 5, 10 years. Progressively, it's only going to go up 1 to 2% over here. Whereas in that 5% span, it went over 20,000%. It grew over 20,000%. You know what I mean?
But we don't know.
But nobody knows. They're like,
This
ooh,
is
maybe
why
I should buy
stocks
Tesla.
are-
It's $800. It's like, I have an extra 5K. I'm going to go buy 3 Tesla stocks. Like, dude, that's the worst investment you'll ever make.
Think
Why
so?
don't you go do, I'm not going to say no. Personally,
No,
to
no,
me,
I
I
know what
wouldn't do
you're
that.
saying. You're
But
just-
it's
this is
like,
your opinion.
yeah, so when you actually start figuring out your research, it's like, maybe I'll go buy a company that is just like Tesla, doing the same thing as Tesla, but their stock's only $5. So in 10, 15 years, when they grow to $100, $200, I've now made all that money. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm never going to say no or yes to a stock. It's your choice. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Personally, for me, I'll only buy a stock that I actually know the company is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go buy it because everybody's talking about it. If I don't know
But
them,
I swear,
you know?
the stocks is like a whole different world
Oh, yeah.
because they have so many different. Like, they just have weird names, first of all.
Yeah.
Names you've never heard of in your life. Names that, like, never mind Amazon, never mind
The big ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
Apple. But they're like weird names. And
Mhm.
they're like, did you invest in Nakatopia? And I'm like, what
What are you talking about?
fuck are you
Yeah.
talking
They're like,
about?
dude, they went up 200% today. You're like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Like, what the fuck is Dogecoin?
Yeah.
You know?
Doggy coin, whatever it is, man. Yeah. Come out of nowhere.
They're
Dude.
just weird, you know?
Weirdest stuff, man.
But we're getting really into this here. How would you say how would you say? Actually, I don't know if this would, because you said nothing really. I wanted to ask, how did your childhood play a part in what you do now? You know, like
That's a really good question.
When you were younger, were
Yeah.
you like very conservative about certain things, and were you always looking at your future more than you were looking at the next day? You know?
No, that's the craziest thing. It's like, because I just have the one brother, and we're kind of the complete opposites. He's always been the saver. I was always the spender.
No way.
No word of a lie. $1 I would get, it would be out in 10 seconds. I'll go buy candy at the store. You know what I mean? Like, didn't save for anything. And that's obviously most kids are gonna do that. Like, what are they gonna save for? Like, what do you have to, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say like kind of like my parents have been really big investors over the years. You know, they've done their own things. That's never like kind of spiraled me in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like a family member, I would say, that was like, hey, you should do this. You know, it was kind of my own thing. It's a lot of online stuff because like everybody has access to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You see like random people, you see random videos, they're inspirational quotes. You should invest today. It's like,
that's true.
Okay, whatever. But it's like when you actually start like doing research, it's like, okay, what are good investments? What are good long-term investments?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe the number one is like real estate. It's like, okay, I want to learn more about real estate. Okay? You look at real estate. You have your passive income. You have your equity, this. You also have a lot of tax write-offs. There's so many different benefits that you can have towards a single thing. Stocks as well. You can have capital gains. You have tax write-offs. Again, there's so many different things, right? People just think they make money off just the stock or just passive income. But there's so many different things that factor into actually making money, or sometimes you're going to be losing money off of it, right? So it's you really got to dive into your research.
Yeah.
You got to make your commitment to what do you want to do, you know? So
this wasn't recording.
It's recording now. Fuck, what was I saying?
No, it's cool. We're gonna continue because I'm gonna take it off of there, and they could hear it from the mic on the camera.
Yeah, right on.
It's gonna sound bad.
So it's like this is my 7th take of this. You know what I mean? So it's like,
bro, my stomach is going insane.
Dude, I swear to God, your stomach was louder than our voices. I was like, what is going on over there?
I don't know what's happening, bro. I woke up today, and I never had breakfast. I went to work. No, I went to the gym, so I got probably hungry from that.
Yeah.
And then my body was just like overworking, and then I went to work. Then I came home and I still haven't ate.
Yeah.
Then I went for a 9-kilometer run.
That's crazy.
Then I came home and showered, and I still haven't ate. Then I had to do this podcast.
Yeah.
And then I have to go back to work, and then I'm gonna come home and eat.
But the funniest thing is when you come home afterwards, you're not even gonna be hungry.
Bro,
it's the weirdest thing, man.
Happen.
It's the weirdest thing.
That's gonna be the worst, man. I'm really looking forward to eating. I think I'm gonna go
You
to a
still
restaurant.
gotta keep waiting. Yeah, you're gonna have to.
What are you gonna do after this?
I'm gonna go check out some houses, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got 2 or 3 lined up for tonight.
Hey, how many houses do you go through a month? Like, go to look at?
Honestly, like, in person, go to look at? Not many.
A month. No, a week.
A week? Oh, man, a lot. When I like, the thing is, bro, I'll set, like, a time period.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to buy a house in the next month. So that's, like, during that month, I'm gonna go check out 50 houses. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Without question. You know what I mean? But before that...
Does it get boring?
Not at all, man. I love it.
Sorry,
it's actually
before
crazy.
that?
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm going to do my research of all these houses before I even go into them. Do they have their double garage, like, attached garage? You know, do they have finished basement? Do they have this, like, all these factors? Because you have to literally look through every single description. Everything.
Yeah,
prices, square footage.
Like that.
It's like, bro, it's the hardest thing. It's like, but I actually enjoy doing it. And not many people enjoy doing, like, spending those many hours doing that. And that's where the commitment doesn't come into play. It's like, dude, at the end of the day, man, if you want to make money, you got to put time in. You know, it's the same thing for everything, man. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same.
Hard? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's the same thing for everything you do, right? It's what you get, what you put in is what you get out.
Of course.
Yeah.
100%. Is it hard to find tenants?
No, I would say no. It's like I said, everybody needs a place to stay, and you know, by statistics, it's like, what did I say? 60% of people can't get approved for a mortgage. 87% of Canadians don't have more than $5,000 in the bank. It's like, that's 13% of Canadians. You know, 13% of Canadians can afford a house. It's 87% of Canadians either can't get approved, or they don't have money for it, a down payment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 87% of Canadians you have open free that need to rent.
That's true, bro.
It's
and
like You know what I mean?
I don't even look at that kind of stuff.
That's
I don't know
what I'm
how you
saying.
find that kind of, I guess research is a very important thing.
Yeah.
A big key.
A
you
huge
know?
key. And at the end of the day, look at how many rental places there is. So you have to have something better than those places.
Yes.
So that's why
That's
location
true.
and price come into effect. What other things can you offer that, for example, that apartment can't offer? Well, double attached garage.
True.
You know, this bigger space, whatever it may be, right? So you really gotta look into everything. So
That's good, man. That's good for you.
yeah.
We're reaching like 40 minutes here, so I wanted to end the podcast off with one last question. If you could buy a property
Mm-hmm.
and it's not in the city,
Mm-hmm.
where would you go and buy a property, whether it be for yourself, or where would you want to go? Like, would there be a place that you think that you could rent it out for like a crazy profit, or
Yeah.
or for yourself? Like, where would you want to move and
Dude,
stay there?
That's a good question, man. It was probably to buy and rent out the place. My dad sent me a link. I can't remember the exact country. It was either Denmark or Germany, and you don't pay capital gains and you don't pay interest on the house.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, so you're telling me I buy this house, I don't pay any interest on it, and when I sell it, I have no capital gains. They have like a huge article on it. He sent me like 2 months ago. I can't remember the exact country. It's one of those two. I was like, for sure one of those.
That's awesome.
You're not paying, and you're literally just paying your mortgage. That's it. No, you don't have to pay any extras. That would for sure want to be the one of the countries. As an investor, it makes sense, right? Probably like,
Oh, that's sick.
I feel like investing in like New York would be sick, but that's like a whole new world. You know what
For
I mean?
yourself?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to live there. I'm just saying like,
Oh, you said Seattle.
Seattle. I love Seattle. Seattle's a sick place, but I don't know, man. Maybe probably somewhere in Europe, Italy, Greece, somewhere nice and hot. You know?
But is there like a place that, so like one of those places, you would buy a property,
Yeah.
you would keep it there, then
Yeah.
vacate. You know, you already have a property there. And
Yeah.
You just vacate there every year. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people do that, man.
Yeah, a
They
lot of
buy
people.
like a summer
Mexico
home
or
or
stuff like
something
that.
on the beach. They go there 2 weeks a year.
Mm-hmm.
There's Airbnb it the rest of the year. It's like that makes so much sense.
Has that ever crossed your mind?
It has, yeah. Airbnb is the next thing on my list for sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
Airbnbs are huge, man. That's
Yeah.
another topic we're gonna get into.
Yeah.
For now, I think whoever's stuck with us this far into the
Good job, guys.
podcast, kudos.
Yeah.
That's a wrap, bro. I have work in like 15 minutes.
You're late for work
Yeah,
and you're
bro.
hungry.
Oh, I'm starving.
That's funny.
Tell them where they can follow you and they can check you out. And if you guys want to get into a house, hit him up. I think it'd be a crazy. He could hook you guys up. He could definitely hook you guys up.
Definitely hook you guys up. Anything I don't buy, I'll send to you, right? So
Or even like rent out. I'm talking. Like,
Yeah.
If you guys need a place to rent out.
yeah, if you need a place to rent, hit me up too. But
Yeah, man.
man, it's been good. Thank you for having me.
So where can they hit you up?
Hit me up. You can reach out to Wallo, reach out to me, Instagram,
Matti.
what is my Instagram, dude? Matti Hanson 12. I don't even know what my Instagram is.
I have no idea.
Instagram me, Facebook me. I don't know, man. Do whatever you want to do. Find me. You know.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming out. I learned a lot
Good.
about house real estate and passive income and whatnot. And honestly, I think I'm gonna be starting looking into that kind of stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
That I have some more knowledge. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. That's it, bro.
That's it, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.